guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so sorry about this setup at the moment. It is currently like 8:30 p.m. at night and this is the only time I had to do these videos this week, so I was just going to get them all filmed now, even though the light is terrible and yeah, you can see the reflection on the painting behind me. But anyway, I'm just really happy to be able to do these videos for you right now because I feel like I haven't done an update video in a really long time and a lot has been happening in the last few months in my life. So I wanted to quickly address a few of the reasons why I haven't been around as much and the fact that I am still going with the 52-week project. There's just a lot going on in the background that you guys aren't seeing at the moment because I just honestly have not had time. But I'm going to pretty much straight up address the fact that I am a full-time freelancer now. And I'm really excited to address that fact because it's something that I've wanted to do for pretty much most of my adult life. And it really does stem back to when I was probably 15 or so and found out what a freelancer was, and I really liked that idea of becoming a photographer and doing my own thing and having my own business, and that's what I always wanted to do. So for those of you who don't know, and I've spoken about this quite a bit over certain videos in the last few years, but I've had a lot of jobs in my lifetime, and like I said, from the age of 15 I knew that I wanted to do photography, I knew that I wanted to do something in this realm, and that's what I always aimed towards. Unfortunately, in the process, it was not that easy to become a full-time freelancer. Even when I was at home and living at home, it was still very difficult, and I actually did do full-time freelancing for quite a while when I was still living at home. And unfortunately that didn't really work out the way that I'd planned it to, and I found myself just not earning enough money to really support myself and to save and to do the things that I wanted to do. So that's where it became really difficult, and I had to almost give up a part of photography because I needed to work somewhere else. I needed to find another job that could earn me money. So I worked a lot of different jobs over the last 5-6 years. 2011 is when I actually started my business, like officially. So I think for about the past 7 years I've been doing different jobs on and off throughout those years, and I've done everything from retail. I've done a lot of retail. I've done probably about 5 years worth of retail experience. And I've also done different assisting jobs for other photographers. I've also done a bit of e-commerce work, which I will go into a little bit more in depth very soon. And I've also worked as a travel agent for over a year. So there was a lot of times where photography for me got pushed to the side, and these jobs took preference. And I think YouTube was such a good turning point for me over the last few years because it gave me something to focus on the side and to remind myself that this was going on, and I felt like I sort of had to be accountable for getting things out on time and having a schedule, or you know, a failed schedule at that, but doing something towards photography all the time, whether that was forcing myself to create content and doing portfolio shoots and test shoots because I knew I had this YouTube channel coming and going, and I knew that I had to provide content for it, and it was a good way to keep myself steady with doing that sort of thing. So I think that's where YouTube has really helped me, and I'm actually going to do a video on YouTube and photography because I want to explain to you guys how it fits into my career and how it fits into my life, and how maybe other photographers might like for it to fit into their careers as well. For me, it's a very different way of working with it, and I do want to explain how I see YouTube in the big picture of things with my photography as well. But for now, I'm just going to go over the points of freelancing. So anyway, YouTube was a great influence for me, and I was able to sort of keep on top of things with that on track as well. So it was really difficult doing YouTube and doing a full-time job for such a long time and doing photography as well, and I worked full-time for over a year for the past year, and that was really hard because I did push a lot of what I was doing to the side, and it was very difficult to work a 40 to 50 hour a week job and on a very low earning wage and still try and pump out videos and do photo shoots and then that sort of thing, and that was really tiring after a while. And I think probably about halfway through last year I was almost at the point where I was like, I just don't want to do photography at the moment because it was just too much for me. So there's been a lot of things that I've struggled with over the years with having these other jobs and trying to keep pursuing that dream of doing freelancing eventually full-time. And I'm really happy to say that now that I am doing it full-time, I feel like everything has just finally fallen into place with my life as far as photography is concerned, for now. Freelancing, for those of you who don't really do much of it, it's very much an up and down thing, and unfortunately that's the downside to freelancing, is the fact that you never know when your next job is going to be. And you need to make sure that you're always striving for more work and really putting yourself out there, and it's something that I understand that I have to do. I think it's especially hard because when you move out and you are paying rent and you're paying bills, it's very scary to think of that prospect of being a freelancer and not knowing what to expect income-wise. So anyway, fast forward to this year. So I've had all these years of doing these other jobs and really working towards what I wanted to do. And then this year came along and I went on my 3-month trip around the world with my partner Dan earlier this year, and it was amazing. Really put things into perspective for me. But unfortunately when we came home, it was kind of like we needed to get jobs, and we didn't have the same jobs that we had last year. We found it really difficult because we had to move back to Sydney and back home with my parents for a little while, and unfortunately in the area that I lived in, there wasn't really a lot of work going, especially in my field, and I pretty much told myself that I wasn't going to get another full-time job unless it was something in my field. It had to be something in the realm of photography or retouching, something that was going to help me with my career. So there was a job that came up and I applied for, and it's for one of Australia's largest fashion retailers, and I'm just going to leave it at that, obviously, because I don't really want to say the name of the brand. It was a full-time job, 5 days a week, and I got the job, and that meant that I could move back down to Melbourne, which was amazing. And that was one of my goals as well, is that I wanted to get back to Melbourne. I felt more in a creative space down here, and I think there was a lot more work going and there was more opportunities. So I was over the moon that I got this job, but then everything sort of changed a few weeks in to this job. I think it was about just over a month of me being there, and I was offered another position with a creative agency in Melbourne. And I can't remember if I said before, but the job I got with this Australian fashion brand was for a retoucher. So I was working in the e-commerce studio and I was retouching all the images for the website. So a lot of workload throughout the day, and doing anything from retouching talent to clothes and objects and all that sort of thing. So that's what I had full time. And then I was offered another position for a freelance contract as a retoucher, doing lots of different things once again, and a bit of photography as well, which was great. So that when this opportunity came along for me, I really considered it and I ended up taking that. And most people would call me crazy for doing that, because that's basically like giving up a full-time job with a stable salary in a really good working environment for something that's not really stable at all, and you don't know when your next job is going to be. And unfortunately for me, I was at the point where I had this realization that I didn't want to be in another full-time job for the next 3 or 4 years and not make any progress with my career as a freelancer. I think it had just gotten to that point where I felt like I was ready, and this opportunity, although it came at the wrong time, it sort of came at the right time when I was realizing all this. So I did have a chat to my boss at my full-time job, and I was just saying to her, look, I don't think this job is for me. I don't feel like it's going to get me to where I want to be in my career full-time. And although I like working here, I've been offered this other position, and this can kind of give me a level to stand on while I'm doing my other work as well. And she was really understanding. She's a great boss, and she actually ended up asking me to come back as a freelancer at this particular fashion brand. So it was really great. Everything worked out in the end, and now I'm doing freelancing for them, but I'm also doing freelancing for this other contract that I've picked up. So it was very scary at first. I had to speak to my partner a lot about it, and I was kind of really worried that it was just going to go downhill, and there was just so much going on in my mind, and I knew how I was feeling from doing all these test shoots, again, in a full-time job, and doing my weekends were spent doing photo shoots and working, and I felt like I was just consistently doing work. There was no time off. It was just 7 days a week me doing work, because that's all the time that I had to do it. And I think that was really stressing me out and really getting me very, very anxious and not feeling like I was getting any time to relax at all. And I think that was an issue because I wasn't really getting to do as much YouTube either. And that's part of the reason why I haven't been posting so many YouTube videos, is because there's been so much going on in the last few months with that. And I've actually picked up quite a bit of freelance work at the moment, so I am very busy at the moment, and this is my #1 priority now as a freelancer. It's the work that I'm receiving. So as much as I love YouTube and I love doing it and I want to continue doing it, it has to be a secondary thing to what I'm doing with freelancing. So this is where I'm at, guys, and that's where I have been for the last few months. And I'm doing quite a bit of retouching at the moment, and it's good because I've learnt new skills with retouching, and I've really enjoyed working for this fashion brand in particular that I'm working for now, that I had the full-time job with originally. And it's just really good. It's a really good environment, and I just love having more of a freelance lifestyle at the moment because it's giving me freedom to do a lot of unpaid work or portfolio shoots. And that's something that I really need to concentrate on, is really developing my portfolio to the point where it is where I want it to be. And maybe it'll never get to that point, let's be honest. But I want to try, and I've got so much to develop with my portfolio, so I need a lot of time to do that, and that's what's really good about it at the moment. I really want to do more freelance videos and more videos related to freelancing, and I really want to hear what you guys want to see on my channel in regards to that, and if you're interested in hearing some of the steps that I took in turn to become a freelancer over the last 7 years, because it's been a really long time coming, and I think I was very naive going into it, thinking that I would be a freelancer pretty much within about 6 months, and that just did not happen. I want to help you guys as well if it's something that you're looking at doing, and tell you guys ways to think outside of the box as well. So like I said, I'm doing a lot of retouching at the moment, and I would say retouching is definitely part of my career. It is something that I do on a day-to-day basis, and it's absolutely something that I see myself as being a professional in, along with photography. And of course, I would love to have more and more photography jobs, and that's my aim. But for now, this is just something that's so great for me to support myself on and to work towards as well. So like I said, guys, if you have any questions at all about freelancing, please put them in the comment section below, or if you have any video ideas for me to do on freelancing that you'd like to see, let me know that as well. So guys, that's where I've been, and I just wanted to update you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to have some more 52-week videos up soon. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!